Happy Thursday! If you didn't see the first half of this video, oh, look, a card. Come on, it's a decade. Of course it's a top 20. Well, anyway, moving forward. Number 10. Been around the world, don't speak the language. Exploring the layers I have towards the top 10 guilty pleasure of Talk Dirty would probably make this video an hour longer, so allow me to paraphrase. Talk Dirty is like, so awesome. Those cadenas close to genius. Shameless from Rapey Derulo to Asshat 2 Chainz. I feel that it served the purpose of being a dumb, fun pop song to just consume and enjoy. 2014 was pretty good at that. And maybe better than its terrible performers was that sexy saxo beat. Could you imagine if some pathetic copycats tried to replicate its charm for their own worthless song? Yikes, am I right? The nightmares were real. Give it to me, I'm worth it. A thing I was never able to predict with this turd was its longevity. Work from Home, nobody likes. That song has pretty much fallen off the face of the earth, and I haven't heard it out in the wild since 2017. This shit? Weekly. Thanks, Radio.com's Q104. God, how many radio conglomerates are we gonna make before we realize that that's a dead format? Apparently, this is the timeless classic we still want to keep around, even if Work From Home is better in every way. While Camilla's first verse of Work is awful, it sure doesn't hold a candle to Dinah's. And if what they say is true. And if you didn't get your fill of pinched performers, Camilla does it too. It's all on you, it's all on you. Sorry, I'll get to the point. Get to the point! Choruses. You don't gotta go to work. At least this is catchy. Give it to me, I'm worth it. Beats the hell out of nausea sax and convincing group vocals. Doesn't seem too worth it to me, ladies. Pass it off to the talented guests. Girl, gotta work for me. Can you make a clap? No hands for me. Okay, as I said, fuck this guy, but at least he's memorably skeevy. Kadink's doubled forgettable verse may as well have been just the backbeat with no vocals and would have come off as more valuable. How the hell did this guy's career not blow up? I mean, he's just oozing talent. And I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the rhythm. See me in the spotlight, ooh, I love your style. This rhythm comes up too frequently in my work, and here's the problem. The measure before, it's just claps on the beats. Terrible, but it'll help illustrate my anger. You see me in the spotlight. This beat is stiff, musically devoid, and simple. The rhythm is the exact opposite, but in the wrong direction. It's syncopated just enough to appease the part of your brain that hears complication. It's a trick, and frankly, its simplicity pisses me off in a way no other beat does. Its amateur nature elevates this song to the precipice of being one of the worst things of last decade. And if you want the emotional rant, I did it way more crudely in 2015. But watch if you dare! Number 9. I don't care! I love it! I don't. I love it! So I've been at this a while, and I've made many bad points and videos in my day. But the first time I talked about this song, I got my points basically perfect. So for content's sake, the highlights. I got this feeling on a summer day when you were gone. It's obnoxious. I threw your shit into a bag and pushed it down the stairs. It's vapid, worthless party trash. It's musically brain dead. I got this feeling. I, for people can't be I. Now go give my 3-year-old video some love. You might like it. Number 8. Now watch me whip. Now watch me nay-nay. Oh look, another phenomenally aged song. Whatever happened to Silentó? Oh no, he became a terribly catch one-hit wonder. Who would have seen that coming? Watch Me is as good as its performer. Okay. This sounds like shit. Has absolutely nothing interesting to say or be, and probably took shorter to make than this paragraph. And for that exact reason, again, why talk about it? Fucking next. Number 7. Just keep your eyes on me. You know, for the best year of pop music out of this decade, 2015 sure had a lot of stinkers. Guess the Year tried to be the best at everything, including trotting the shit out so it could be overshadowed by music just utterly better. Even one of the Meghan Trainor songs wasn't completely terrible. Now that's a miracle. 3 out of 4 of the last entries coming from this year doesn't look very good, but this is the end of them, I promise.
No, honey, I'm good.
Man, the defenders came out of the woodwork on this one. I think the best way to re-debunk this is a quick revisit of Andy's foolproof plot, because this thing has more holes than Centralia, Pennsylvania.
It's been a long night here and a long night there.
Andy is out clubbing, multiple places, just a good night all around.
And these long, long legs are damn near everywhere.
Lots of conventionally attractive women for Andy to oogle at, so what could be better?
You look good, I will not lie.
Alright, mild flirting. I'm sure this girl has already come onto him, being that they're observing leg lengths together.
But if you ask where I'm staying tonight.
Okay, so he calls her pretty, then suggests if she asks to go home with him that
My baby's already got all of my love.
Then why'd you call her pretty, dumbass? If you want to have a friendly conversation and a drink with a rando, then keep it casual as you want it to be.
And if I stay, I might not leave alone.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Back it up. Don't tease the girl. Like, tee-hee, I'm faithful, but maybe I'm not. Who knows?
Honey, I'm good.
Don't call her honey. Why are you being so weird and mixed up?
To another, I will stay true.
He treats this like a game. Like he's proving how good of a boyfriend he is by not going to the club with his girl and not sleeping with this girl.
Now better men than me have failed.
In the second verse, he's really proving how perfect he is.
And you got that ass. And you got that ass. And you got that ass. And you got that ass.
I'm sure Andy's girl loved hearing about this, both the story and the song. Hey babe, crazy night. There was this girl at the club who thought I was into her, so I had to turn her down. Oh man, it was nuts. You want a spoon? Or fuck? Where are you going? And that's the case against Honey. I'm good. It's a thinly veiled pat on the back for a man pulling some scummy shit. The upbeat music and repetitive admissions of good intentions are voided from every way he stumbles lyrically. This is a despicable piece of music that tarnished a man's career, and it's honestly a little sad. Andy Grammer was fine, until he wasn't, and maybe someday he and Robin Thicke can laugh their failures off together. I don't think I'm there yet, boys. Number 6. Video ideas. It's 2019. I want some big, grand video idea. Something huge. Oh my god, it's the end of the decade. Holy shit, I could talk about the worst and best of the whole decade. Stuff that I never got to. Hell, I could rip to shreds stuff that I didn't find all the details I wanted to crush. Maybe I could start with last year.
I still see your shadows in my room.
Oh, lucid dreams. Oh, I'm gonna get so much out of this. Man, it is gonna be fun to trash that again. Well, can't lie now.
I still see your shadows in my room.
Not usually good to talk ill of the dead, and I'll say this. No matter how I felt towards Jared's music, it's tragic he died so young. He really could have developed into a better musician if he had the chance to. He deserved better. And hell, even before it happened, I had a redaction entry ready.
I'm making it worse.
Over the course of editing the Worst List entry, I came around on it as a lyrically weak but phenomenally catchy tune. There's a reason I said absolutely nothing about the music, because Robbery sounds pretty good. I even think it's well performed. Again, I think it's a lyrical train wreck, but he did his best to sell it. Where I get frustrated is knowing that the song he's going to be known best for is his worst single. To hold back from talking ill of his time alive, I'm gonna let my points stand as they were. This is a good time to remind you that Yellowcard is still suing Juice, which is bullshit. Get over yourselves, let it go. That and the Sting sample is still crap. Sting, your song is worthless. Hey, I made the list in April, and this was my number 6. I gotta stand by it. Rest in peace, Jared. Number 5. Are you ready for the most boring of all time?
I've died every day waiting for you.
I've scoured the world for the most boring music I could find. I lived through 2013 pop radio. I grew up in a house with every Winter Solstice CD. I've even listened to the Bare Naked Ladies' second album. Nothing comes anywhere close to Christina and her Twilight promotional song. Maybe she was trying to replicate Robert Pattinson's vibrant acting.
17.
This song makes Lost Boys sound like Kickstart My Heart. It's so dull. Just look at these lyrics. Really gets your blood pumping. No, Christina, you're not gonna beat me. Speaking of the illustrious performer,
Time stands still.
should you tell her? Maybe I should do it. Christina, this is your last hit. You might want to put a little more into the performance before...
I have loved you for 1,000 years.
Yeah, you're right. Who wants to be famous anyways? Hey, can you go get me some water? I'm reviewing 1,000 Years by Christina Perri. Yeah, that's what I need the water for. Christina couldn't give less of a shit if this was interesting or not, but it sure didn't assist in distorting her image from a sappy 8th grade piano student.
And who do you think you are?
But then again, this is like cocaine compared to the Ritalin of 1,000 Years. 1,000 Years? That's an apt title.
Heart beats fast.
But can you talk faster? This song feels like it's 6 minutes long, and that's usually because it's half over when I flip to it on the radio. Stations love this shit, probably because people fall asleep listening to it and the radio gets those false listening stats. So yeah, it's boring. Have I called it boring yet? It's boring. Boring, 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 boring. Go ahead and sleep. You did your best. You deserve it, buddy. Number 4. Already number 4? Oof. There's no going back. I talked about this in depth less than a year ago. It's all still true. Let's talk about what this did to Katy. 2 years before this, she was at a career apex. Fun, enjoyable pop music. The market was hers to lose, and it's unfortunate that her divorce from Paul came through in her music.
Just be sure before you give it up to me.
If she had always made shit like this, she would have truly been a dark horse. But instead, it was broken beyond repair right then and there. This has a melancholy stain, like the horse bled onto this. It's last Friday night at 70% effort. Now she's lost, thinking completely shameless will bring the magic back. This sounds like Honey from How I Met Your Mother came up with the song.
I just had a great TV audition behind the KFC where the executive producer works on the weekends.
But still I rise.
Maybe we blame this on 2016. Should have jumped on that best year train, but hindsight is currently 2020.
Turn it up, it's your favorite song.
Now she doesn't even know who she is, writing a song railing against herself. I get how she'd miss it. This is a post-Dark Horse world we're living in.
Bon appetit, baby.
See? She's fucked.
Swish, swish, swish.
It's over. All that would remain were cameos she'd be the worst part of, songs missing her power, and more humiliating decisions. Dark Horse killed Katy Perri. Somewhere there's a universe where we lived without this shit song and Katy Perri never faded away to do the most ironic job, judging a competition for something she can barely do herself. But if Kesha can be reborn, I guess she has a chance. Listen to High Road. Thanks. Number 3, and number 2. I just cannot believe that after one of the biggest musical Hindenburgs of the decade, that those bones were rebuilt and flown again. We're going to talk about these songs together, because why not?
Oh, look what you made me do. I'd wanna be me too.
These are both pretty much the same song. Most importantly, they're both impossible to enjoy, ironically or otherwise.
I don't like your perfect crime.
Taylor thought the best way to come back was to sound as talentless as possible. Oh God, look what we made her do.
And I can't help loving myself.
Meg took more of the fuck you if you aren't me approach. Sorry, this song is tongue-in-cheek, which was said by people who've never heard a joke before. Nobody who means that as a joke shoots a day in the life video. Just another low-key flex. Happy to know this person wouldn't have another hit after this. At least the other person ran as far away from this as she could. I think we all wanted to explode Snake Taylor also. So not only are they the same song, they pretty much have the same ego about these. Obviously, Meg's is surface level.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too.
Yeah, I don't need my smart helmet to decipher that. Besides it being the 4th song she wrote about that. And while Taylor's earned the fame to have such an ego, it doesn't make this shit okay. Worse yet, these aren't music.
What? The world moves on another day, another drama.
I'm sure on the sheet music, her part was marked as X's, like she's a percussion instrument. Better than the normally performed junk.
I don't like your kingdom keys.
Wow, how inventive. Let's check back in with Meg's art.
If I was you, I'd wanna be me too.
Jokes aside, she is actually singing, like, a song here. Unfortunately, it's about this shit.
That's gold. Show me some respect.
So it's worthless, but hearty C- for effort, Megan. It's not the worst song of the decade. Congratulations. Then there's how far they missed the point with their songs. I guess Taylor was trying to be some forceful deity, come to slay all of those preconceived notions about her good image.
Look what you made me do.
Yeah, Taylor, I think it came off as whiny and bad. She sure crushed any goodwill on her handle towards quality. Defenders of the other one offered that it's a joke.
That I woke up feeling this way.
If this really was a joke, she sure isn't giving that performance any room for a different attitude. Sam Smith has a song out right now that's going for a newfound vulnerability. So they sang it, let's say differently?
I look for you.
And while I hate this, at least I get an attempt. Megan sounds like every other holier-than-thou Megan, so it just comes off pretty much as terrible as always, except it's literally about her life is better than mine, no shit. And maybe she was serious about the message, and for that, good for you, Megan. Well, not really good for you, more like fuck you. At the end of the day, I give Taylor the benefit of third because the song isn't just this, it's this. But really, these are the 2 worst pieces of music of the decade. Too bad there's a song that was scientifically created to piss me off. Ooh, what could it be? To the 8 of you who don't know what this is going to be, let's do the last dishonorable mentions just to build a little bit of suspense.
I got fake people showing fake love to me.
Oh, grow up, kid.
I am a lost boy.
Shit, I already used the grow up joke. Take some piano lessons, Christina Perry? No.
I don't mind.
Bet you forgot about this masterpiece where Usher gratifies all the strippers out there. Sure made it sound as ugly as the profession. Sorry, strippers.
This is gonna be the best day of my life.
Shut up, nerd. And here's 3 early decade songs that are so bad I still laugh at them. They're all bottom 20 worthy. I'm sorry this decade started out as a meme to me.
Ducky, 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 ducky.
What a train wreck. That's all of them. Time to get to the number 1. What could it be? Number 1. Surprise! Sorry. Gotta give it some credit. I've never seen a song garner opposite ends of the polls like this one. Even with the double-dipping hits of 2015, neither garnered number 1s on both sides. But nothing walks that line like the most obnoxious song ever. A year really hasn't mended my feelings on it. As I already stated in detailed, angry ranting fashion, fuck this. You know how I feel. Instead, I'm gonna debunk arguments laid by my friends. But like I said,
You ever gonna speak to either of us again, Ducky?
I'm never speaking to either of you ever again.
I was not anticipating that being number one when I sent that. Anyways, best song of 2014, Lego.
If you look at the lyrics, they're actually really intense. Tackling themes of your soul being twisted and corrupted by the voices of the world.
Yeah, that's gonna be a hard pass on that one. Wouldn't really think of the words themselves as the intense part. Man sure does sound like he's gonna deliver a shit, which isn't the intense I support. Come with me now!
The bridge after this line feels like a descent into madness, even though it is much more rhythmic and quiet.
Come with me now.
It may be the best 20 seconds in pop music this year.
But honestly, that's only... This song rocks harder than Dwayne Johnson up to his neck in concrete.
Well, that's true. But so does this.
I guess it wasn't really right.
And this.
You found out, you bitch.
It was a great turn of phrase, Sean. It rocks like literal rocks. Rocks are hard, jagged objects. Their purpose is to break windows, or smash my own skull in. That or they sit here, too obnoxious to be quickly weathered away, because it's too goddamn stiff to adhere to decency.
Come With Me Now is a banger. Most satisfying guitar work of the decade. Percussion that knows exactly when to take a backseat to the other instruments and exactly when to turn up and power the song forward.
No. This is pure backseat drumming if I've ever heard it. Percussion is the soil of a song's garden, and when this clown's 7th grade garage band lick is as good as he gets, it's an insult to the art form. Even my dumbass can play this shit.
And one of the most purely classic guitar solos in recent history.
Well, I can tell somebody didn't see Flight of the Conchords' live London show.
Every time you think this song is getting too repetitive, it has another trick to pull out of its hat.
There's so much to love about this song.
I'm for sure not mad at my friends. They make good work. It just fascinates me how one song can be so loved/hated. It's a true medical marvel. And I know I'm not alone. People projected similar sentiments to mine when I made it known last year. We're out here, and we will assemble. All 4 of us. My mirrored observations can be found in the revisionary look at 2014. Hadn't mutated into the cataclysmic nightmare as I see it as today the first time. Anyways, that's it. Worst of the decade complete. Stay tuned for some best songs, both in the decade and all-time variety. Calvin started streaming, so follow Windlenot on Twitch. Make the guy's day. He's pretty good at Roller Coaster Tycoon too.